On Global News Express, NEMA says death toll may rise amidst mass burial and following fuel tanker explosion. In business, customs intercept arms and ammunition worth 10 billion naira in 6 years. On the foreign scene, former President Trump calls 6 January Capitol riot a day of love. In sport, Flamingos rout New Zealand 4-1 in World Cup opener. Hello and welcome to all our viewers in Nigeria and around the world to News Express on Global Television, coming to you live from the nation's capital, Abuja. I am Anthony Momodu. A quick reminder that Global Television is on DSTV channel 365 and free to air on Iconsat. The Chief of Defense Staff, General Christopher Musa, has called for greater collaboration between the military and educational institutions to address Nigeria's security challenges. General Christopher Musa, who made these known during a visit to the Tertiary Education Trust Fund (TED-Fund) in Abuja, emphasized the role of education in fostering security solutions. Juma Manson has details.
The visit focused on enhancing partnerships to leverage research and innovation in tackling security issues. The Chief of Defense Staff, General Christopher Musa, commended TED-Fund's effort in supporting education and stressed that a combined approach using both military force and education is critical for lasting peace.
Innovations being done by TED-Fund, and I think it's very, very remarkable. It's something that we hold very dear, and we appreciate you quite very well. Especially in our institutions too, we have equally benefited a lot from there. We know more will be coming because we know you not let us go like that. With education, people cannot be enslaved. With education, there will be awareness and enlightenment. Most of the issues, of course, some of the challenges we have with insecurity are caused by illiteracy. People being manipulated by some individuals, and because they don't have a good enlightenment, they'll be able to understand that, look, they are being used and they will not allow themselves to be used.
TED-Fund's Executive Secretary, Sonny Achono, highlighted the military's contribution to technological advancements and invited them to the upcoming National Research Fair to showcase their innovations.
The contributions of the military, indeed, we know it is not just here, because most of the advances in technology today that we enjoy and take for granted actually originate from military science. So we see this opportunity again to renew our invitation to the military to participate at the fair. Participation for all Nigerians, including our schools, and the military will come at no cost to the participants.
The visit marks a straightened commitment to collaboration in finding solutions to Nigeria's security challenges. For Global Television, Jumai Manson reporting.
The National Emergency Management Agency says it has deployed its emergency response team to Kogi State following the flooding of several communities in the state. The agency says the move aims to help proactively monitor the flood situation across the country. The statement noted that the team comprises staff specialized in search and rescue operations who will provide technical support to the Kogi State Emergency Management Agency and other stakeholders conducting rescue and evacuation operations, as well as assessments in the affected communities. A mass burial has been held for over 147 victims of a petrol tanker explosion at the Majia town in Tuara local government area of Jigawa State. Tuara local government chairman Hambali Zaga said the figure only accounted for bodies buried in one mass grave, and that dozens of victims were burnt beyond recognition. The Nigerian Medical Association has appealed to doctors to rush to emergency rooms to help with the influx of patients. The National Emergency Management Agency says the death toll could rise from 147. The presidency says the absence of President Bola Tinubu and Vice President Kashim Shettima in the country does not create any leadership vacuum. Special Advisor to the President on Information and Strategy, Bayo Onanuga, said the two leaders are fully engaged with the nation's affairs, even while they are away. A rift is believed to have emerged within the Kwankwasia political movement as a faction advocates for the political independence of Kano State Governor Abba Yusuf from his mentor, Senator Rabiu Kwankwaso. The group, allegedly sponsored by Secretary to the Kano State government, Abdullahi Bichi, argues that significant development in Kano State requires the governor to free himself from Kwankwaso's influence. Kwankwaso, the leader of the Kwankwasia movement, a political base he leads, has been accused of exerting undue influence over the governor's administration, with critics describing it as a symbolic third term by proxy. The Inspector General of Police, Kayode Egbetukun, says the police force will continue to uphold its former chief legacies to enhance its operations. The Inspector General of Police made this known at the strategic meeting with former Inspector General of Police in Abuja. Kikelomo Okere has details.
The Inspector General of Police, Kayode Egbetukun, says the aim of the meeting is to facilitate a meaningful dialogue for the purpose of fortifying the foundation for effective policing in Nigeria. He pointed out that the current leadership of the force is building on the strong foundation laid by the former police chiefs to, among others, meet modern-day security demands.
All of you contributed immensely to the growth and development of the Nigerian police force. And I want to assure you that we are building on the foundations that you laid.
Speaking on behalf of the Inspector General of Police, Mohammed Abubakar emphasized the need for experienced experts within the Nigerian police force to effectively address the current security challenges bedeviling the country. He reaffirmed their commitment to support the Nigerian police force in all capacity while offering collective experience and wisdom to help navigate the trying times.
The Inspector General of Police to rub minds on the issues of policy and security and strategy in this country. And we shall continue to do this because we are police and police is us, just like you are. You know the challenging situation in this country, and therefore the Inspector General of Police and all of you need experience, expertise, and the technical know-how to be able to discharge your responsibilities of protection of life and property.
The meeting underscores the importance of continuity and mentorship as past IGPs seize the opportunity to address and share their experiences with the members of the force management team and other senior officers of the Nigerian Police Force. Kikelomo Okere, Global Television News.
The Inspector General of Police, Kayode Egbetukun, says no fewer than 10,852 suspects were arrested between July and October 2024. He disclosed this during a strategic meeting with commissioners of police and other senior officers in Abuja. Kikelomo Okere completes the report.
The Inspector General of Police, Kayode Egbetukun, says the statistics indicate a substantial decrease in crime rate in the key areas, including significant strides in combating violent crimes such as banditry, kidnapping, armed robbery, and cybercrime. He noted that from July to October this year, the Nigerian Police Force has rescued 369 kidnapped victims, recovered 416 firearms of various makes, retrieved 178 vehicles, and seized 3,672 rounds of ammunition of different caliber.
Foster a safe and secure environment for all Nigerians, thereby reinforcing the trust that is fundamental to our effectiveness. We must build on the progress we have made in addressing security concerns across our nation. Over the past few months, the force has significantly enhanced the safety and security of the country.
Speaking on the forthcoming off-cycle election in Ondo State, the police chief urged the senior officers to replicate and build upon the successes recorded in Edo State election. He further stated that patrols will be increased and other measures will be put in place to ensure the security of lives and properties throughout Ember Month.
In the country's internal security framework is vital. We must lead by example. With the upcoming off-cycle gubernatorial election in Ondo State, the local government council elections nationwide, and the challenges of the current Ember months, our vigilance and commitment to enhance security are paramount. Together, let's strive to foster a safe and secure environment for all Nigerians.
As the festive season approached, the Inspector General of Police further urged the senior officers to intensify efforts to secure all areas, particularly urban and semi-urban centers, major highways, as well as to collaborate effectively with other security agencies and stakeholders to bolster security nationwide. Kike Lomo Okeri, Global Television News.
The federal government has taken delivery of 1 million doses of the R21 Matrix M malaria vaccine donated by Gavi. The Vaccine Alliance, the World Health had in December 2023 added R21 Matrix M malaria vaccine to its list of pre-qualified vaccines. The Executive Director and Chief Executive Officer of the National Primary Healthcare Development Agency, Dr. Muyi Aino, said the arrival of the malaria vaccine from Gavi is a testament to President Bola Tinubu's commitment to protecting the lives of Nigerians. The Comptroller General of Customs, Adewale Adeniyi, has revealed that the service has intercepted 20 container loads of sophisticated arms and ammunition worth about naira since 2018. The and sophistication activities of the criminal gangs behind the importation as alarming. Adeniyi, while addressing the meeting on the achievement of the Further Operations Unit Zone A of the service, disclosed that since 2018, the NCS has intercepted 20 significant shipments of illicit arms comprising of 1,498 pieces of various arms and 115,929 pieces of ammunition, with an estimated duty paid value of 9.58 billion naira. Chief of Air Staff Abu the Nigerian Air Force will take delivery of 50 brand new aircraft between December this year and 2026. Air Marshal Abubakar said these are the second biannual meeting with branch chiefs and air officers commanding in Abuja, where he stated that the Nigerian Air Force had successfully inducted 12 aircraft into its inventory over the past year. He noted that it was a remarkable achievement that the Nigerian Air Force had not witnessed in a long time. Senator representing Kano South, Somalia Kawu, has advocated that elective and appointed political office holders be subjected to drug tests before assuming office. Contributing to the debate on the floor of the Senate in Abuja, Senator Kawu alleged that political leaders buy drugs for their supporters during elections. Queen Agaba has details.
Senator representing Kano South, Sumaila Kawu, alleged that most security operatives are drug peddlers. Senator Kawu added that the Hydra-headed problem of drug trafficking and consumption has eaten deep into the fabric of the society.
I am happy if all of us can swear with the Holy Quran that they are not in any way in support of drugs abuses or intoxicating youth in their constituency to take drugs for their political. And Mr. President, we need, whether we are allowing this bill to continue to have an agency or we are strengthening LDE, we need to create a situation where before contesting election or before taking appointment at whatever in government level, you must go for drugs test.
Senator Rufai Sani, representing Kano Central, made declaration in a debate on a bill to establish a National Institute for Drug Awareness and Rehabilitation to coordinate and promote awareness, prevent substance abuse, and facilitate the rehabilitation of drug users.
Is to raise public awareness about the dangers of drug abuse and illicit drugs, drug trafficking. Conduct research and collect data to develop effective strategies for drug abuse prevention and rehabilitation.
In their contributions, Senators Sarah K. Dixon and Adams Oshomole strongly opposed the establishment of a new agency to tackle the problem of drug abuse, especially with the existence of the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, NDLEA. While Senator Dixon alluded that drug consumption has fueled crimes and criminality in Nigeria, Oshomole says it is important to strengthen the act establishing the NDLEA to deal with the problems raised by their colleagues.
I agree we must deal decisively with drug-related issues, but I'm not convinced that we need to establish yet another agencies that will be competing with the NDLEA. Thank you, Mr. President.
After a heated debate, the bill scaled second reading after a voice vote coordinated by the Deputy President of the Senate, Jibrin Barao, and referred it to the Committee on Drugs and Narcotics to report back in 4 weeks.
To establish a National Institute for Drug Awareness and Rehabilitation to coordinate efforts in promoting drug awareness, preventing substance abuse, and facilitating rehabilitation of drug users, and for related matters, 2024 second reading taken.
However, several of the speakers admitted that drug abuse has become a serious concern across Nigeria that requires very urgent measures by all stakeholders. For Global Television, Queen Agaba reporting.
You're watching the News Express on Global Television, coming to you live from Nigeria's capital, Abuja. When News Express returns, Flamingos rout New Zealand 4-1 in FIFA Under-17 Women's World Cup opener. Details of these and more shortly. Please stay with us. Welcome back from break. This is Global Television bringing you live broadcast of News Express. Thank you for staying with us. And moving on, in business, the House of Representatives has urged the federal government to urgently transmit the medium-term expenditure framework to the National Assembly to avail lawmakers ample time to work on the 2020 appropriation bill. This is as the lawmakers, drawn across party affiliations, expressed their displeasure at the practice of delayed presentation of the annual budget proposals to the Parliament, leaving the lawmakers with little time to do a good job. The resolution of the House followed the adoption of a motion of urgent public importance moved by Clement Jimbo. The federal government, through the Transmission Company of Nigeria, says it would investigate the cause of the multiple power grid collapses that occurred on Monday and Tuesday this week. The Minister of Power, Adebayo Adelabu, says there was no such thing as grid collapse but a trip-off. The Transmission Company of Nigeria says the national grid experienced what it called a partial disturbance on Monday, noting that efforts to fully recover the grid were still ongoing. And moving to the foreign scene, Donald Trump has described the U.S. Capitol riot of 6 January 2021 as a day of love during a campaign event just weeks before the presidential election. The former president claimed the thousands who traveled to Washington, D.C. that day did so because they thought the election was a rigged election. On 6 January, a mob breached the U.S. Capitol building in an effort to deny the certification of Joe Biden's election win, forcing lawmakers to flee. Several deaths, including that of a police officer, have been attributed to the event that day. Spent years, making false claims that the vote was rigged. The event continues to divide America. The Israel Defense Forces have confirmed that they have hit Nabati in southern Lebanon. 5 people were killed by an airstrike, including the city mayor. The targets include a terrorist infrastructure site, Hezbollah command centers, and weapons storage facilities, which Hezbollah adjacent to civilian infrastructure, exploiting the civilian population as human shield. Children as young as 10 will soon be able to be jailed once again in Australia's Northern Territory after the government there lowered the age of criminal responsibility. Australian states and territories have been under pressure to raise the age of criminal responsibility from 10 to 14, in line with other developed countries and UN advice. And jumping into the world of sport, the newly elected president of the African Table Tennis Federation, Waheed Eniton Oshodi, has expressed his intention to elevate the game of table tennis on the continent. Oshodi, who was unanimously elected as the 6th president of the continental sports body to succeed Egypt's Khalid El Sali, called on the private sector to support table tennis similar to other sports. Nigeria coasted to a 4-1 victory over perplexed New Zealand as the 2024 FIFA Under-17 Women's World Cup finals rolled into action in Santiago de los Caballeros on Wednesday. Shakirat Mushood scored one of the competition's fastest goals since it was launched 16 years ago, when she rounded the defense of the girls from the down under to score the first goal after only 80 seconds at the CFC Stadium. The Chorus Faridat Abdul Wahab rocked the crossbar 7 minutes later from 23 yards, and in the 13th minute, Nigeria went up 2 goals up when defender Taiwo Adegoke's shot from well outside the box was misjudged by the goalkeeper, who palmed the ball over the line before scrambling in vain to push it out. To end News Express on Global Television, here is a quick look at some of the big stories. Nigeria Emergency Management Agency has said death toll may rise amidst mass burial following fuel tanker explosion. In business, Nigeria Customs Service has said it intercepted arms and ammunition worth 10 billion naira in 6 years. On the foreign scene, former President Trump has called 6 January Capitol riots as a day of love. And finally, in sport, we told you Flamingos have routed New Zealand 4-1 in World Cup opener. That's it on News Express, and it came to you live from Nigeria's capital, Abuja. We are DSTV channel 365 and StarTimes channel 276 and free to air on MyConsart. Kindly follow us across all social media platforms using @GlobalTVNG and other handles now showing on your screen. I am Anthony Momodu. Thank you for watching.